Okay. So we had 2 sessions. So last session was about mentoring. So today we will be continuing with the third topic, that is the goal setting. Now remember, whatever we are going to discuss, it is going to be discussed in relation with what we have dealt in our previous classes. That is session 2 and session 1. Okay. So please do connect your thoughts with your previous session when you are responding. So before we go ahead, can we have a quick recap and then we'll discuss the feedback, because most of the feedback is related to time constraint. It is already announced that you will have to set your time apart, read all the documents beforehand with your peer group, and then attend the sessions. Remember, this is a 3-hour session. We will not be able to provide you more time for reading during the session. It's difficult because the content will be large. Okay, there is only 50 hours of guided session. 50 hours must be individual work and 50 hours must be work-based. Okay. So do you have any questions related to the course? Anything that you have gone through till now and you have doubts, or you're not very clear with what was being told? You have any questions? Please do raise your hand. Please do raise your virtual hand. Any questions? No? Can we move ahead? Okay. So today's objective is SWOT analysis of your class. Remember, it's not your individual SWOT analysis. If you have not prepared, please take time and prepare it. Understand the domains of your classroom processes, thereby identifying your weakness and threats, and set your goals as per your weakness and threats. So these are the objectives that we are going to deal today. So whatever objective we are setting now, remember that you will be carrying forward it during your unit 2 and your unit 3, not in your unit 1. Remember, it's not in your unit 1, it is for your unit 2 and unit 3. Now, the first activity, read through the document Goal Setting for Teachers and present your views. I'll share this part. I want you individually presenting the need for goal setting. How will you identify your goal? How will you set your path, your idea about setting path? How you will be working towards your goal? An analysis on how you have achieved your goal, a rough idea. Okay? Clear, all of you? Yeah, I'll share this entire thing. It's an individual activity. So 10 minutes I can give you for this activity so that you can go through and paste. I've shared what you have to do in the chat box. The need for goal setting, why you need to set a goal, how you will be identifying your goal. Okay, don't worry, we will be doing your identification today itself, whether like what are the areas that you have to set, how you will be setting your path towards achieving your goal. Please don't now give me specifics now. It's an idea how exactly you plan to go about doing this. That is what is going to be discussed today. Working towards your goal, analysis on working towards your goal. How do you know that you have achieved your goal or you are in the right direction of the goal? Okay. So read the document. I think all of you have received the document. Anyone says that they have not seen the document? All of you have received the document? I don't see thumbs up. What happened today? Yeah, Friendship Day, no? Happy Friendship Day for all of you.
Thank you,
I thought you're dull because you're not able to go and meet your friends.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Wish you the same, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Happy Friendship Day, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Praveen.
Yeah, this is Parveen, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry, ma'am, I did not, uh, I was like disconnected because of internet issue. Can you just repeat the questions, ma'am?
Okay, I have, are you able to see the chat? You will have to read through the document goal setting for teachers. Okay.
I'm just posting it again, ma'am.
Yeah, I've posted it.
Yes.
You will have to think and talk about the need, why you need a goal setting for your classroom performance. Second is, how will you identify this goal? Third is, what path, this is a rough idea. Okay, this is a rough idea of how do you think you will set a path to achieve that goal. What do you think will be the work that you will be doing to achieve the goal? Fifth one, how do you know that your goal is achieved? Please note down these steps because this will be very helpful in your everyday classroom process.
Thank you, ma'am.
Another 1 more minute, then I would like you can start giving your responses. Yeah. Anyone would like to go first? Please address all the ones. Yes, Alicia.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. So answering to the question, I would like to go from one by one, ma'am. Needs for the
Sure.
goal setting, what I feel after reading the document and all this. It's important to plan and why do we have to set a goal?
Hmm.
The reasons are we have to plan and prepare for the class. How do
Hmm.
we have to plan that? From there, the goal starts. If I have to plan something, I have to plan and prepare. Then I want to maintain the environment what I want,
Hmm.
not just what the student needs. I have to create the aura and the environment which the teacher needs. That is what I need. And understand the professional responsibility. I
Yep.
guess these three are the requirements we have to work for to set a, to achieve these all, we have to set a goal. And then as
Okay.
you said, not specific, I mentioned broad
Yes.
process, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Coming to the identification of goal, first we have to identify the specific outcome or what outcome I need in broad or in narrow. When we narrow
Hmm.
down or when we go with a broader perspective, we have to understand our required outcome and decide our goal on consistent basis, not for one class or one session. It's the consistent outcome from the student what I require. For suppose in my case, for suppose it is digital activity, it is
Hmm.
consistently required, the outcome. So I have to plan such kind of thing. So setting path, it should be first I have to plan it, it will be abstract, then set the high level goals, then I have to come down to the concrete level. So
Ah.
I guess this is the setting, the path of setting, ma'am.
Ah. Okay.
And coming to working towards the goal, here, ma'am, I'm little stuck. Understanding the specific goals again. I guess working toward the goals again, we have to come back to the specified outcome, which I require exactly. I have to pinpoint to the outcome and collect resources, collect feedback from the supervisors, invite peers for the observation, so that I could get more resources, I could correct myself. These all comes under observation, feedback, everything. And analysis on your working towards goal. I guess the same thing works out, ma'am. Here I'm stuck. Last 2 points I'm stuck. Like
Okay.
analysis
Don't
and
worry. We will come back to it. Analysis, we'll come back to it.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ms. Neelam.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. The first part is why should we have a goal setting?
Hmm.
We should have a goal setting because it gives us a directive. So it will direct our attention to a specific area of our teaching learning, and our efforts and all our actions will be having a proper directive with relevant activities we can plan required for the goal. Then it also will promote strategy, what strategy we will use for achieving that goal. Then next is identification of the goal. So for identifying the goal, we should focus on one area. We have to pick one area and then we have to set goal for that specific area. And we have to prepare an action plan. Like for setting the path, we have to prepare an action plan that how are we going to plan our goal, like how will we plan to achieve our goal, from whom to get the feedback, and how whether our goal is more specific, and whether it is effective, and the time constraint also we should see whether we will be able to achieve the goal in the specific time or not. Then next is working towards the goal is a continuous feedback we should get from our own self analysis and from our peers and even from our students, and see whether we have achieved that goal on that specific area or not. Then analysis is done by self-assessment on whether clarity of the goal, whether what goal we have set, it was specific, it was clear, and we were able to achieve on time or not.
Very true, very true. Thank you, Neelam. Yes, Miss Manjari.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. So over here, in fact, the first answer is like goal help us to gives us a clear direction and also purpose. So and also we are able to measure our progress and hold ourselves accountable. So this is yeah, and also goal helps us to grow, learn, and improve. And it also pushes us, in fact, to step out of the comfort zone. And sometimes it also helps us to develop a new skill as well as the competency. Okay, this was the first answer. Now the second is the need for the goal setting. Why do we have to set our goals? First, the goal setting is for, probably self-reflection. So first we need to reflect ourselves, and once we set the goals, we have to put it down on the paper, and we see whether the goals are feasible or not. It should also be time bound, and the goal should be measurable. So we are going to apply the SMART criteria over here. Like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, as well as time bound. And then we have to break down the goals into smaller parts. Rather than, suppose the goal is a bigger part, we have to break it down into the smaller parts, because goal itself is a huge, it cannot be measurable. So once we break it down to the smaller part, it becomes easy for us to achieve those goals. Now, how do we set the path for setting up a goal? We have to create a plan, which the plan should be actionable. And at the same time, we need to prioritize. That's very much important, to prioritize our goals. And we need to be flexible also sometimes. In the event we are not able to achieve the goal, we need to be a little more flexible. And then working towards the goal. We have to be organized while working towards the goal, and we have to continuously monitor our progress. And we have to be motivated, because sometimes it happens that because the goal is not achieved, then we become demotivated. So we have to continuously motivate ourselves towards the goal, for achieving the goal. And we also need to seek support from the mentors while achieving the goal.
Very true, very true. Actually, motivation is most essential.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you are bound to get reviews and feedback.
Yes, ma'am.
Accepting that and working towards achieving your goal is what is the first and foremost priority. So persistence and perseverance is a must.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, should I tell the fifth point, ma'am? So analysis on your working towards the goal. We have to measure the results, okay, and we have to review and reflect. And at the same time, we need to adjust as per as per the needs, and we have to celebrate success. So these
Yes.
are basically the analysis on working towards the goal.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Next, Miss Kushi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
So
morning.
for the first question, the need for goal setting, like yes, we should have a goal, ma'am, then only we can reach it. So the goal will provide us, as everybody said, like it is a direction for us for starting. It motivates our actions and also measure our progress. As we are in such a area where we have to improve ourselves. So this will measure our progress also. It will encourage our growth and also boost up our confidence. And at the end, if we all follow thing, it will definitely increase our efficiency towards
Yeah.
reaching the students. So to coming upon the second, identification of goal. So our goal is like reaching the students. So so students means their the students where they are lacking and what they needed. So first we have to know like what are the students accomplish, like what they have to get it. Is it like spellings or reading or writing? What is that goals? First we have to identify that. Then we have to support them. First identification of areas and then student improvement and support. And we should give additional support for that. Not in a regular, we have to give additional support to them. And also we have to monitor. If we give a task also, we have to check whether they have done on the time basis, and also we have to monitor them. And obviously we should celebrate them and motivate them with small stars or kits, which will definitely motivate them to do the next upcoming task or upcoming their improvement areas. And also we have to adjust our time for those special childs. So this will definitely reach these are the like how we can identify and follow them. Then coming to setting our path. Setting path is nothing but like making a plan. We have to be prepared. And it should be in a like smaller portions where we can manage them like step by step. It should not be at a time a big one. A small things we have to make it into breakdown into smaller things. And then we have to time limit deadline. We have to set a deadline where like this is the limit, like small portion, but time period is less. Like in that time period, they have to reach that goal. And also we have to be ready with the resources so that we can give on time, and we can also expect the same thing after in that period, so that all the areas can be covered and we can get the complete objective of the student. Coming to working towards the goal. So we have to, if we are planned, we should follow the plan, and also we have to keep tracking our progress and adjust our plan if needed. Mostly we'll plan in a correct way, but if at all anything goes like up and down, then we have to adjust our plan, and also time constraint, we have to give our time. And also we can take advice from others also. If we are finding some difficulty in some other to how to approach this kind of child or this kind of student, we can also take an advice and support. And coming to analyzing your progress, like how we can analyze our progress is regular review. It's like a daily review, I can say. Regular means daily review. Regularly we have to review ourselves, and we have to compare our results with, like, if the two classes are there, we can also compare, like if this student has taken 5 days and this student has taken 7 days, like to reach in that deadline, are we reaching our milestone or not? So what is the next step where we can go ahead? And also we have to adjust as needed. Like as I told before also, we have to change our plan, and we have to work on new challenging arises. Like if one setting is done, what is the next challenge? How we can plan it? And also reflection. Reflection will improve all the things. Reflection is needed.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kushi, there is one thing that I would like to say. Remember, whenever you're talking about goal setting, okay, yes, of course, you're going to set it for your students, But this goal setting that you're going to do, it is for you as a teacher. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, not for your students.
Okay.
Please understand, because no, when you write also, most of the times when we are writing our reflections also, I've seen teachers writing that my students did this. It is not about your student, it is about you. So the writing should be focusing on your outcome, not on the student's outcome. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Tessy.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yeah.
Ma'am, why there is a need for setting goals for teachers is actually it is crucial for teachers as it provides clear direction and focus for our own development. I mean to say professional development. So it also helps in aligning professional objectives with that of the organization where we are also enhancing our effectiveness, that is the teaching effectiveness. And also it improves the outcome in the sense, the result, which is seen in the student's performance. And we can also identify the areas of growth and which also helps us in staying motivated and tracking our own progress over time. And coming to second point, it involves how to identify. It involves self-reflection of current teaching practices. That is, we should work on, first we should see what are our present teaching practices and are we able to achieve our goals, or is there any need we need to correct our own practices or improve our own practices, and to also check areas where we require improvement. And also we should take regular feedback from our colleagues or mentors or peers, and also setting this goals called as SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And setting these SMART goals ensures that the objectives are achievable. And coming to the third point, ma'am, setting the path. So it helps in planning the steps that is required to achieve our goal. And it also may include, as I discussed, seeking professional assistance, or we can also take help from our senior teachers or colleagues or mentors, and we can also break down goals into small manageable tasks and setting timelines for each task so that we make sure that we are able to achieve our goal. And as of course, collaborating with colleagues and utilizing the available resources, we can set the path. And coming to the fourth point, ma'am, working towards the goal. And the key for this is the consistent effort and dedication, and of course, continuously working towards the achievement of our goals. And as Khushi ma'am said, it's almost like staying adaptable and also resilient in the face of challenges. It is very much important. Sometimes we just feel that, okay, we are not able to achieve this, so better we will just give up. So, but best thing is you should always stay motivated, and also you should continuously strive hard to achieve your goal. You may face challenges. That is, as teachers, we may face challenges, but still we have to just keep on moving. And also we can always seek support for a reflection, ma'am, and we should also review and adjust our strategies according to that. And the last point, ma'am, analysis on working towards the goal. It is like regularly analyzing our progress towards goal, which is also essential for our progress. And it also involves reflection, and also reflection on what strategies are we working on and what needs to be changed. And also we need to make necessary adjustments and set new goals for our continuous growth and development as teachers or educators.
Very true. Remember, it is not an one-time process that your goal setting. It changes as you grow, know, and evolve. It keeps changing. Okay. Yes, Ms. Mukambika.
Good morning, ma'am. So the need for goal setting is we need goals to provide a clear direction for what the lesson aims to achieve, ma'am.
Very good. Yes. Yeah.
Goals help us teachers plan and organize our lessons more effectively.
Ah.
And we need consistency to maintain the goals. And we need to have clear goals that help us for creating a structured and purposeful planning and effective learning environment.
Okay.
And the next one is why we need to identify our goals. We need to have a smart goals to analyze the students' needs, and we need to set differentiated goals to meet the diverse needs of our students.
Yes.
And the next one is setting path, why we need to set the path. So if we do not have a clear planning, then our time consistency will not be there for that particular plan.
Yes.
So that we need to have a setting path for it. Otherwise, we will be deviating from our plan and we'll be going into the other track. So we need to have some setting path for our classroom. And so that we need to have a timeline and we need to plan the activities regarding the lesson, and we need to have the specific activities related to their age level.
Yes. Age appropriate. Correct. Yes.
And next one is why we need to work towards the goal. We need to set clear expectations.
Ah.
And we need to create a detailed plan and implement the activities in the classroom.
Okay. Okay.
And we need to have the regular analyzing criteria, as all the teachers have said. Sometimes what we do is we will not analyze ourselves.
What is that word, ma'am? Can you tell me? Analyzing ourselves. What is that word? You are very true to the point. What is that word? See, mentor feedback is one analysis we do. Okay. Second is whatever is a student's assessment outcome is one analysis we do. Another one, the very important one. What is that?
Self
SWOT analysis.
self-reflection.
Self-assessment.
Self-reflection.
It's called self-reflection. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
That is what we will be lagging, ma'am. Sometimes we'll be lagging in our self-reflection. So that should be consistent and continuous process should be there.
Very, very. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alicia, now you got Alicia. she's
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Analysis I am.
Yeah. Thank you, Mukha. Yes, Parveen.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
The need for goal. First question, ma'am. The need for goal setting. What is
Yeah.
the need that we have to set the goal? Is that for our growth and development, ma'am? It is for ourselves that we need to check ourselves, like what are our strengths, weaknesses, and how what are the threats and opportunities we get. So it is that our purpose is that for growth and development, ma'am. So identify.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah, it is about SWOT, ma'am. To analyze our SWOT, we have to set a goal. And as our profession is a noble profession, we have to reach to all the learners, ma'am. All kinds of learners, even the slow learners, like how we can reach. So this is the purpose that we have to set a goal. Second
Yes.
question, ma'am. Identification of goal. How we are going to identify the goals. So it is through our needs, that is necessity of the classroom practices, as well as through laying the planning and all. So how we are going to reach out. So it is through planning, ma'am, perfect planning. Identification of goal. Next is setting path, ma'am. How are we going to set our path to reach our goals? So it is, we should be very clear towards our learning objectives, ma'am. So we should design our learning objectives to match our learning outcomes. And next is working towards the goal. how would you work to reach our goal? So it is through making our weaknesses or threats when we are executing our plan. We have to identify what threats we are facing and how we can check that, or I mean how we can correct them. So that is how we have to work, ma'am, and we should be very flexible towards that. Next, ma'am, fifth question, analysis on your working towards goal. So how will you analyze whether you have reached your goal or not? So this is through our self-assessment, peer assessment, mentor feedback, and also through our by setting some rubrics to ourselves as well.
Very good.
Right, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gauri. Yes, Ms. Sinduri.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, all.
Morning.
The first question they have asked is the need of goal setting. So the need, as everyone said, it is for a professional development, a professional growth. And so when you are selecting a goal for your professional growth, so firstly, what we have to motivate ourselves to achieve that goal. And while we want to achieve that goal, we will be facing so many challenges. So we have to overcome all of those, and how we have to overcome all of those challenges. So to overcome those challenges, we have to make a structured approach. So how we are going to overcome all those challenges while defining a goal? While we want to achieve a goal, how are we going to achieve that? We need to make a structure for that to achieve that goal. And of course, all these will be very much related to the time constraint. So just setting up a goal is not a correct thing. Within the time, how you are able to reach that goal. So that is how your plan should be structured. And the second one is identification of goal. So when we want to, we just discussed that we want to achieve a goal, we said that we have to structure that approach. So to make that structure, we just have to identify what particular goal we want to reach out. So for that, first we have to self-reflect ourselves, like whether my goals are just being only the abstract ideas, or are they going to be concrete actions? Like, are they just only the things that we are only just writing? I'm writing only the goals that only can be written, or I'm writing the goals that I can reach in the real life. And so while checking also, we have to write down that what outcomes I am writing for reaching that goal. And in reality, how my learning goals are going to be achieved, like outcomes and learning goals. We have to just check they both are in the same boat. And so to achieve that, like outcomes and learning goals to be on the same boat, it is not just we who can do the self-reflection. We have to take the help of the other mentors or other teachers to reflect on our challenges, so that we can get a proper feedback and overcome our challenges during that process.
Yes.
And so as after getting the proper feedback, we have to again set up our action plans towards our challenges. And that happens only after regular reviewing of our challenges.
Very true. That regular review is very important actually. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And the third question is setting path. So we have to set our goal. Are we really focusing to get the results, or are we going to put a goal to acquire some knowledge?
Okay, yes. Which part you would like to set your goal in?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes. Are we just it is only just for the structured wise, or in the real life also you have to achieve that challenges or not? So you have to set up a path so that you can achieve what you wanted the goal to be.
Yes.
So that is defining a clear goal. So that if you are defining a clear goal, you have to be very specific whether you're focusing on what area.
Very true. Very true.
So while after defining, of course, we have to be very specific to our action plan. What actions I am going to take for this.
Yes.
So while it is same that we have to take the support of the mentors and all to support us to overcome those and to fulfill the action plan what we have written.
Very true. Yes.
And the fourth question, ma'am, working towards a goal. So once we are planned, the first one, we are setting up a goal, we are identifying the goal, and we are working towards the goal also. So how do we work is implementation.
Your action plan is actually you're working towards your.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So how we are going to implement your action plans? That is what working towards your goal. And like during that action plan also, you have to monitor yourself, take monitorship from the mentors and everyone. And while mentoring also, we need to adjust our goals according to the needs. We are
needs of
our outcomes.
Okay, but then no, does it really look into goal setting if you change your outcome?
No, I meant to say that need the change of action plan to reach.
Action plan. Yeah, the process can be changed, but don't change your goal.
No,
okay?
no, sorry.
Your outcome should not be changed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So it's a change in the action plan according to the need. Like sometimes we may face challenges and we are not able to achieve that. So we need to find out a different plan how to achieve that.
That's true. That's true.
So in trying different action plans, we have to reflect ourselves so that we will be focused towards the goal.
Yes. So next week it's on reflection and reflective writing. So that time you will understand how exactly you have to do or have the format for reflection. Okay. What exactly you should do under reflection, you will have a clear-cut picture. Yes, Ms. Sharmila.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am, and good morning, everyone. So today's topic is all about goal. According to us and according to everybody, I feel success is a journey. It's not a destination. So towards your journey, you will have always some ups and downs. In that, the most important criteria that we have to do is setting up the goal. And so the first question is need for the goal setting. Why do we require to set a goal? We have to set the goal to clarify our priorities. Like what is my topmost priority? Suppose as a teacher, our priority is for the student better outcome. And in that way, we have to work on clarifying our priorities.
And that point is very valid. Actually, the first and foremost is your priority. See, for some of you, like for example, the students are board going students. Your classroom performance may be the priority. But if it is lower classes, it is going to be engagement that has to become the priority. So set your priority first. Which area you want to focus, you have to have your priority first. Thank you, Sharmila. Yes.
Yeah, and the next one is we can have a growth mindset. We can develop a growth mindset by keeping a goal because I have to work towards my goal. So even our course now itself is like a great goal for us, so that we may have a lot of personal commitments, but the priority that we are having is develop. We have to have a growth in our professional life. That's the reason we are allocating the time and we are coming. So goal setting requires or you have to have a growth mindset to have a goal. And the next question here is how to identify my the identification of my goal is purely, it can also come reflecting on my values, like if my value or if my strength, I have to assess, and then I can identify my goal, assessing my strength and what is my current situation, like evaluating my current situation. Accordingly, we can set the goal, but the goal should also implement and it should be giving a positive note on the people who is depending on us. And also imagining my ideal future, like how the goal is going to impact my future. These are all the points that we have to consider and we can set the goal. And the third one is like setting path towards my goal. Setting path, as I say before, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs. So during that journey, we have to stay motivated always. We can get guidance from others like our mentor, our co-teachers. Even students are also like can give very good feedback on our teaching. Accordingly, we can change our process and we can set and work towards it. And working towards goal, the goals can
You
be
covered it. You said regarding working and analysis also you have told. Student feedback, self-reflection. You have covered it. Yes.
a goal can be of various type. Like basically we can divide there as short-term goal and long-term goal. Our long-term goal can be divided into the small parts and we can work towards the short-term. Eventually we can attain our the long-term goal. And the last one is
Analysis.
towards a goal. Analyzing towards a goal is, as all said, it's all about self-checking, self-reflection. Finally, like how I have done my work. Accordingly, I can do the check and I can correct the, the way to achieve my goal. So feedback plays a great role in this part.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sharita. Yes, Ms. Shravanti. I think we'll stop with Shravanti. Yes, Shravanti.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. The first our topic is on goal setting for the teachers. The first one is the need for the goal setting. So why we need to for the goal setting is the first one is having goals allow us to track the progress and make adjustments as needed. And really it encourage our growth, ma'am, and also helps us to prioritize our time and also our resources to make a clear picture like which is our priority, how we need to divide the time and the resources needed. This we need to have a goal setting. The second one is identification of goals. Why? So how we will identify our goals? This is from the assessment of our strengths and weakness, our weakness and threats. What are our weakness and threats? From this we have to set our goals to overcome that, to review the past feedback. So whatever in the class, it's a self evaluation again, ma'am. We should take from our peers and also our self feedback and then identify our goals and then think about the diverse needs in our classroom, like varying the academic levels or learning styles, etc.
Okay.
And the next one is setting path. How do we set our path? So, ma'am, we should break down our goals, identify the key milestones, and then divide them into an overall goals, like smaller, manageable one initially. We should not go at once to a big one. It will not be possible, and we'll be getting in stress and get demotivated that we are not able to do it. So, just we should break down our goal to improve the student engagement. Like example, ma'am, if our goal is to improve the student engagement, milestone must be like including the research, engagement techniques in this way, and then implementing one new technique per month. It should not be all at once. Then that will be again, if the child is not supporting us or we could not reflect it from the student, again we'll get demotivated. So it should be slowly, step by step process, ma'am. And then, ma'am, and then evaluate the improvement. So see, the evaluation is from the students itself, ma'am. Whatever we do, we implement. When we get in a positive way, yes, it's just like our progress and really it motivates us to go ahead for the other milestone. Next one is develop our action plans. It determines what resources, like example, ma'am, why we need. The third one is, sorry, ma'am. So the third one is
Third
about
one is setting path.
path. Done, ma'am. And the next one is develop our action plan too. So determine what resources like time or material or the training, what we need to achieve our each action plan. This is really important, ma'am, for setting our path. And recognize that things may not always go according to the plan. So be prepared, and timeline and the resources and the strategies should be on hand, ma'am. It should not go with one thing. So we should have the second plan or the third plan according to the child, not to go with a single motivation like this is my plan. We should not go with a single action plan. And to monitor and evaluate the progress. For this, we need the setting part. Then the fourth one, ma'am, like working towards a goal. How do we work towards a goal? We should have a consistency. We should be dedicated to our goals, give a consistent effort, monitor our progress, and stay adaptable to the changes. I could not do it. No, it's not able. It's not like that. We should learn it, ma'am, and we should try implementing them and stay focused and committed. Like, how do we stay focused? Daily reminders. Yes, this is our goal. Yes, we should be revise these topics. We should be committed to our goals. And then take an action plan. Start with small steps, which is manageable. And these steps also should be prioritized the task, like focus on the most important task first, and then going forward, you can go, means it motivates us to go ahead with the other goals too.
Yes.
Then the third one, the last one is analyze on your working towards the goal. How do we analyze? Again, ma'am, we have both. When we set the goals, sometimes we see the success and also sometimes we will not. It will be ineffective method. So
Yes.
identify the successive tracks, which strategies or actions have been most effective moving closer to our goals. We should identify that so that it will be really helpful to us, ma'am, to move ahead and use the strategies. And it really gives us a lesson plan to go ahead or a path for our achievement of the goals. And in the same way, evaluate the ineffective methods, like was it due to the poor execution or lack of resources or any other external resources. We should evaluate our ineffective methods. Do not stop it like, no, this did not happen, leave it. No, we should evaluate from our ineffective methods too. And analyze the time allocation, like reflect on how we have managed our time. This will really help us, ma'am, because the time management is very important in the classes for the students. It's not like we have too much of knowledge, we have so much of dedication that we want to give our best to the child. But again, time is very important. We should give within our time. So this time management also we should check.
Thank you, Shravanti.
Thank you.
Now, my focus, I have asked you all to talk about the different stages of goal setting. The need for goal setting, many of you were very true to the point, setting your priorities. Like Veena ma'am said, focus on what we have to achieve. And then there was a discussion on consistent outcome, direction towards what we need to achieve. So these are all the need. Now coming to the next step, identification. Okay, we have talked so much about identification, but how exactly are you going to identify your goal? So now we'll have a self-evaluation. Already, I think all of you have downloaded the Excel document. Okay, please do not share it with anyone. Please understand you can have a time period for using the same document and you can evaluate yourself as you're moving through your journey. Okay, which one you have developed, which one you have not developed. So this is an individual activity. It's a self-assessment for finding out the area that you will have to work on. Okay. Yes, Ms. Veena has shared short-term and long-term analogy. Drops of water make an ocean, right? So look through the given indicators and self-assess your classroom performance. Download the Excel format, work on the indicators based on your current experiences. So the first column you take, mark today's date, rate 1 if you feel that you need a lot of improvement in that area. Rate it, give only 1. Okay. You feel, okay, I'm okay with this, I can go ahead with this, rate it 2. If you're really good and excellent in that, mark it 3. Got it? Any doubts here? Any doubts to anyone? Please read the first page before moving into the document. It's a framework of evaluation. Okay, please read the first text that is provided so that you will have an understanding of what exactly it is covering, and then you can go. Right, I'll share the Excel for those who are not aware of how to work with Excel. This is the first text that you have to read. Then down you see you have domain 1. Here you put your date. In the column C, you can put your date and mark. Okay. Then next domain 2, domain 3, domain 4. Okay. Self-evaluate and then we can get back to further discussion. Yes. Remember, 1 is the area that 1.1 you're giving is for the area that you really need to develop. 2 is you're okay with it. That is not an immediate concern. Remember, 1 will be, as someone said, it is the priority area. I think it was Shravanti who said that it's a priority area when you're marking 1. 2, now you're fine with, so you've given 2. You're very good at, that's your strength, mark 3. Okay. Can I give 5 minutes for this work? 10:30 we will stop. Yes? Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you please share the Excel, ma'am? I'm not able to find it.
Okay, I'll try and share it here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am, even I'm not able to find it.
I'm not able to find it, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in the file it is not attached.
Even I am not able to find it, ma'am.
Only the Word document is there.
Just a minute.
Yes, we got just the word. Thank you, ma'am.
Just a minute, because I'll have to change your network.
Ma'am, let me check, ma'am, from my end also.
Yeah.
It's the evaluation format.
Yes, yes, I've uploaded.
Okay.
You can download from the chat box. See, if you get too many things, one also, don't worry about it. We are not going to, work on everything at a stretch. As you rightly said, small things we will start. Yeah, all of you can come back. All of you can come back. All of you have completed marking, or anyone is still pending with the marking part of it? Yes, you still need time. Please let me know, because without that, we will not be able to move forward. That's the reason.
Some more time.
Okay, okay. Take some time. No issues. Another 3 minutes, 10:40 we can. Any attributes you're finding it difficult to understand, please let me know. Any area that you're finding in the Excel, you find it difficult, you're not able to understand what it means, please let me know.
Ma'am, Miss Neelam.
Yes, Neelam. Yes, Neelam.
Yes, ma'am. One of the attribute here is like selecting instructional goals and its balance. So
1 minute. It's which domain?
domain 1, ma'am.
Domain 1, okay.
So in selecting instructional goals, balance means I'm not able to understand what balance.
I didn't get actually where exactly it is.
Number 17, ma'am. Domain 1, row 17.
Okay, it is about setting your instructional goals with balance. Balance towards how you are going to achieve it with the curriculum, with the engagement, with whatever activities or no, whatever your goal is in achieving it.
Okay. Thank you,
It can
ma'am.
be even differentiation, that balance that you bring about in your classroom.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, done. How many of you are still writing? Okay, she says she's writing. Who else is writing? Okay, Sindhuri is writing. Okay. Okay, Sharmila. Please don't focus that much on domain 4. Domain 1, 2, 3 is a major focus area. We'll go to professional responsibilities no, after these 3 areas. If you have completed, please give me a thumbs up. Right. Shampasi. Okay, Manjari has completed 3. Others? Okay, Bashira says completed. Garima says Sharmila completed. Tahsin completed. Right. Okay, Sindhuri completed. Revati completed. Mukambika.
Malika also, Malika.
Malika, I'm not able to see. She said thumbs up. Aarti, Malika, I have no idea. Mukambika, you have completed. Neelam?
I'm writing.
Aarti, ma'am, you need to download the Excel sheet and then start putting in. You will be able to edit it. Please check on that.
Okay, ma'am. I'm doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. May I ask?
Yes.
Manjari, ma'am, may I ask a question?
Yes,
ma'am?
yes, yes.
Ma'am, I wanted to know, what if our goals, it doesn't align with the goals of the institution? In the sense like, sometimes it happens that our goal is a very short-term goal.
Hmm.
Okay, because we want our students to perform well. And the
Hmm.
institution goal is a long-term goal, obviously, because they are
Yes.
seeing in a broader perspective, right? So then
Hmm.
how to align our short-term goal with their long-term goal?
Ma'am, actually, you should also have a long-term goal which is broken down to short-term, and then like each segment-wise you will have to approach. Now, when you're talking about any institution's goal, performance will always be in the vision.
Absolutely.
Yes, but for you it is a short-term goal, but for the institution it is only one part of the entire thing that they are looking into.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So no, your focus when it is not, it will be on classroom performance one. And another thing is every time you're not going to look into classroom performance. You're also going to look into whether participation is there, whether that 360-degree development is there, whether the child is able to think properly. Now, these come automatically, performance also will come.
Okay. No, ma'am, like I'll just give a small example. Suppose, my goal is that I want my students, all the students, when in a class of 25 students, I want all of them to perform well.
Yes.
So this is my short-term goal, probably in SEM 1, semester 1 exam or term SA1 exam. Now, suddenly, there's a lot of like portions to be completed. I'm just giving an example. Okay. So
Yeah.
now, because in the hurry of completion, like we are always in distress to complete our portion. So over here, I'm not able to focus on the goal to make all the students understand a particular concept, because if my goal is to make all the students understand the particular concept, then the wider goal goes away, like completion of the portion. So then how do I adjust accordingly?
Ma'am, here actually if you're talking of classroom performance itself is a larger goal.
Yes, yes.
So when we are talking of classroom performance as a larger goal, first part that you have to address is you will have to identify the needs of your kids, your students.
Absolutely.
So once you identify the needs of your students, the next is setting your curriculum into pieces that they can digest.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, smaller chunks. Now in that also, in that smaller chunks, again you have to further divide it into what they will do on their own, what you will have to support, okay, what you need to take them or you need an external source to give support to. Okay. Now, when you're doing that, the third part that I said, when external source comes, you will have to move into differentiation.
Okay.
Okay. So your classroom performance itself is a very big goal, and based on your needs of the students, you should have a differentiation from the beginning. I know this student will understand the moment I give him a work. There will be some students who are not going to understand the first day. So your classroom setup, once we move into the actual course, you have a classroom setup where we have certain slots that you have to have during your classroom or certain strategy that you have to consistently apply.
Absolutely.
Okay, in your classroom, so that there is always, they tell spaced repetition for memory.
Okay.
That
Correct.
happens when you have this process aligned every day in your classroom.
Okay.
Okay, and this will happen if you are following this strategy like pre-class work, then the class work, post-class work. It's not about homework. Please don't mistake post-class work. What I'm saying is homework. It is about how you connect, how you go on with the new topic, how you recap, collect feedback. Now, if the child is confident enough to come and tell you, ma'am, I've not understood a single word today, then you are the best teacher, because the child is comfortable enough to come and speak to you, tell you that I have not understood. How many of our students can do that? And I'll tell you, that type of a class performance is guaranteed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise your vision, please understand that the child is having a hesitancy to come and approach you.
Yes.
Okay. Then your vision will not be reaching. That's the thing. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shamsona?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In continuation with your differentiation of classroom, the teaching process, we do have remedial classes for those who need extra scaffolding for coming up to the level of others, so that even our the long-term goals do not get affected, like covering up the chapter and introducing many new things. So that is one thing to Manjari ma'am. And then the other thing about your feedback, actually, when you had asked us to set our goals and the analysis of the goals, like I had prepared a specific goal, like making the classroom environment comfortable enough for the student to give a honest feedback. That is
Yes.
what you told now.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that is what one of the goals of our classroom should be. And how we
Yes.
will do it is like through mini plenaries and plenaries in between the lessons and at the end of the lesson. So that was the thing I was like prompted to tell after Manjari's question. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Miss Garima.
Yes, ma'am. It is just, to give the, continue with the discussion that, yes, today's session is about setting a goal. Definitely long-term goal is there for every term or every month. This is on us that how we are going to take it into short-term goals. If we are, doing it continuously, some research or something, then definitely it will fade away the main concept somewhere. So we need to finish it within the given time. And then recapitulation, we can do it whenever we are having remedial classes or when we identify that some child is not able to understand. That's where we say that, the peer, the student, those who have understood in the first time, we can take their help and we can do it in the class itself.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
So-
Those are different strategies.
Different strategies. So if we keep on, definitely research work, and then this will take long things, to finish the thing. And if you have thrown the open-ended question, then definitely you will get so many answers, but you cannot, linger it. Definitely, then it will affect your long-term goals. So that you need to
Actually,
precisely tell them that, that this is accuracy of that, everything is important. And the time limit is also very important. If we will not finish it, then definitely it will take us
Ma'am,
to.
I have one more question. In fact, may I ask? In
Yes,
the sense,
please.
ma'am, sometimes we have set a goal, okay, and we are trying, in fact, we will be achieving it, and within maybe couple of days, we see that we need to change the goal again due to certain constraint. It may be the time constraint or it may be any other constraint, So that means goals can be very much flexible. Then to what extent can we change the
Ma'am, I
goal?
would suggest don't change your goal, change your strategy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't change your goal because
Okay.
remember, you have done a lot of research and you have set your goal.
Okay.
Okay, so never change your goal. Sometimes the strategy that you have applied is not working and it is actually consuming a lot of time. So
Okay.
you will have to change the strategy to see that it is coming in or it's working within your time frame.
Okay, fine. Ma'am, like I would like to give like one example. So there's a learner in my class who doesn't understand English. So being an English teacher, I definitely have to, teach him in English. But the child doesn't understand anything. So now how do I change the strategy, to make him understand in English? Because it's an English class. It's not any other languages or any other subject. So then how do I change my goal for one student? Is that
okay? I'll just allow Neelam to respond. I think she is having an answer. Then I will pitch in. Yes, Neelam.
Ma'am, I would like to share one of the strategy which I use in my class. As ma'am said, there will be learners who don't understand. So what I do is budding teacher. So there are few students who are excellent in communicating. They know the concept as soon as I teach them. So what I do is I
Okay.
Use small parts of the lesson, and I tell them, like, whenever you are free, these are the students and you are the budding teachers, like future teachers. So you, one by 1:1, I connect them and I maintain a record. I give them a task that your student should learn this. So I may not be able to give the entire 40 minutes time. I may not be able to cater to their needs. But as soon as I enter the class, the teacher sits next to the student and they help them even during breaks and other activities. Also, they help them. They connect offline also, and they help. And
No.
I have seen improvement in those learners also.
No, exactly, ma'am. Even I have also tried that. But to make the student think in English, I'm not able to get it. Because
Ma'am, I'll tell you something.
Yes.
I'll just ask you one question. Ma'am, how many of your students know Korean language?
None of them.
But are they interested in K-pop and K-series? Did you find out? How is that they know that, what is that song meaning, what that series is talking about? How do they know? The language is not even related anywhere to Indian languages. How are they able to connect?
The curiosity to know what
Curiosity to know, yeah.
Attention.
Is it curiosity? Something else is there.
Interest.
Attention.
Interest.
Engaging the children.
Interest, ma'am.
Engaging. Okay.
Influence.
Interest, ma'am.
Ma'am, the outcome.
Entertainment.
Okay.
Latest trend,
Entertainment.
ma'am. Latest trend. And it,
Latest trend. But still, I'll tell you, some students even hum the Korean song. You ask them the meaning, they don't know a single
It's
word.
an
But
entertainment.
they will tell you,
Ma'am, I'll tell you
this song is about this.
ma'am,
Enjoy.
just want to
Very
add
nice.
you in that. Just want to add, ma'am, that children, they like, this is so peppy, so trendy, and they hum it. But then after that also, after all these things, then they try to understand the meaning. So they go and translate it also. So
They do
just
it.
to understand.
Ma'am,
So first it starts with the liking.
Learning is not only happening through words. It happens through emotions. It happens through rhythms. It happens through body language. So if one is not working out for you, try out some other. Singing works out.
Like, ma'am, I want to share this. What I did, he didn't understand the meaning of digging. Okay, so obviously I tried making, so ultimately I took him out and I did that. And I showed it to him, this is called digging. But see, ma'am, every time we cannot do this, like because of the time constraint or anything. So then,
ma'am, you need not do it like that. When you're saying the word itself, say it.
Okay, yeah.
That is what I said. Your emotions, your body language will also teach the child. See, how does a kindergarten child who is purely brought up in a mother tongue background comes to school and understands keep quiet? Does he know keep quiet? No, you are showing this and telling keep quiet. So that is how we connect to learning, and no, kids are so, no, they can actually learn anything within a short period of time. Your child also, you can also support, tell the parent that I will send certain audios and videos, let him hear.
Okay. Okay, this is a good, yeah.
You let him hear and know he can start talking on his own. There are certain apps also which will give you sentence, which will show the image and give you the sentence, and the child can talk back to it. So these are ways in which learning can be modified for individual needs. Okay. So now getting back to any other questions? Yeah. So getting back to our session, all of you would have got an action plan format also. Have you got it? Have you downloaded the action plan format? It's a Word document. It's a Word document. I'll just put it here. Yeah. It's uploaded in the chat box. Can you see that? Yeah. So here, the one attribute that you have marked 3, that is you're very good at. I'm not asking 1 or 2 because you have not set anything for it. Okay. Think how you would have developed an action plan for that. Okay. The one where you have marked 3. Write in the action plan, what was that attribute you have improved? Okay. How did you set your goals for achieving that attribute? How did you know that you have improved in the area? How did you review your performance? And who gave you the feedback? Who gives you the feedback? How did you collect the feedback? Remember, it's your strength. So we are going from strength to weakness. So this is one area that you felt, now you feel that you're 100% improved. You're very good at it, excellent in it. So please write that. How did you set goals for achieving? What was your priority 1, priority 2, priority 3 for achieving it? How did you know that you've improved in that area? How did you review your performance? Who gave you the feedback and how did you collect the feedback? Please write. Please write in the Word document. You can keep the original format with you. Make a copy and write. Yeah, you understood what I told you? Yeah. Anyone who has completed can share and we can have a discussion. Bashira, you have completed? Yeah, you want to share? Yeah, please share. One minute, Alicia. Bashira. Are you able to share, Bashira?
I'm checking it, ma'am. Just a moment. Meanwhile, someone else can do it. Then I'll do the next.
Okay, Alicia, can you?
Bashira, check now.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, shall I share, ma'am? And then shall I talk about it?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yes, ma'am. So,
You can share because others should see, no?
yes,
You
yes, ma'am.
share
I'll
your
share.
screen. Yeah. Just check if it is enabled.
Yes, ma'am. It is enabled, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Ma'am, I hope you could see the screen.
Yeah, I can see. Yes, everyone can see. No issue. Yeah.
As you have asked me, the point which I gave 3 on 3 for my point is teacher interaction with the student.
Hmm.
I guess I have reached it to the level where I could give 3 now
Hmm.
after all my years of teaching.
Yeah.
What are the specific goals and outcomes I have focused on is involvement of the students and asking questions when I'm teaching the
When you're
topic.
writing, Alicia, when you're writing your specific goals or outcomes, how you have to be very specific when you're telling about involvement. What is the involvement that you're looking at?
Involvement in activities or
Okay,
yeah,
right. Hmm.
involvement in activities and group discussions or whatever kind of things we do in the class, and asking
Okay.
questions and queries, ma'am, and responding to my questions when I post some question or when I post some activity or when I post some need of answering. When my students start answering effectively, and whether it is right or wrong, it is the second point. I always tell this to the students: right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You raising your voice and telling me is what matters a lot to me.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that really worked with me. That one point has changed my whole class.
Hmm.
How do I know I have improved in my area? I would definitely know that when my students start posing their questions and queries. And as we till now, what we have discussed, genuine feedback. When
Very
you
true.
said that after the class, when the student come to me and say, "Ma'am, I wasn't able to understand. Ma'am, it was nice. Today's session was very nice. I enjoyed a lot. It was better than yesterday." Might be
Yes.
you have to add more activities like this. I have got all these kinds of feedback till date, and which helped me in improving also.
Okay.
And when will I review my performance during and after the lesson, ma'am? Every lesson, what is the feedback I have received? Therein I will be comparing how far the feedback is. There I will review whether it is apt or I should work more. And who will give me the feedback is obviously the students, and apart from that, peer educators whom we will be calling for class observation, and the leaders obviously, our mentors or yes. How will I collect feedback? I will compare the classes, ma'am. And of course, I will be contacting my mentors also. I'll be
Very
com-
true.
even
Hmm.
I'll be comparing different sections, and I'll be comparing different sessions also. How
Yeah.
was in alpha and how was in beta? In the
Hmm.
same way, how was the yesterday's session and how was the outcome in today's session?
Very true. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bashira, you're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So my areas of improvement is effective classroom management. So like setting my goals would be like organization, engagement in class.
Organizing what? Organizing what?
Yeah. So organizing the material, being ready with the class, like
Resources, organizing the
resources.
resources.
Engagement with the learners, where all the learners are
Engagement
engaged.
with or of the learners.
Engagement of the learners.
Because when you say with, that means you are also involved. Are you involved in when they are engaged? How exactly? What is that you're talking about in this
So being a
particular?
preschool teacher, it would be like I want to also involve with them I'll just
Okay.
not let them engage.
Okay.
I'll do that. And planning and preparation, like looking into the lesson plans and everything before to have a smooth classroom. How do I know that? How do I know I have improved this area? Setting up SMART goals, discussing with the mentors and peer group about my goal setting, having class observation with the peers, self-evaluation or like the different reflective methods that I could apply, and putting up my goals on the paper or having them in the classroom where I could have an eye on them and that will direct me that this is my goal and I have to, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
When will I review my performance? Like I'll be giving at least a month to my goals to be implemented, then I'll reflect on them. Who will give me feedback? Mentors, mentor, peer group, and self-evaluation, where self-reflection is very important. And how will I collect feedback? So, like the feedback, though, whatever the feedback I'll get, the constructive feedback, I have to take it positively and working on my weaknesses by making the new goals. Like I was not able to achieve this goal. What are the different things that can be applied and working on the other?
Okay. Right. Prashita. Thank you. Yeah. Sinduri? Yes.
Yes, ma'am, sure. Ma'am, firstly, the areas of improvement which I look forward is in my classroom management and time constraint. Like to finish the plan accordingly within the time. And the specific goals always I put up for me is to help the maximum number of students to achieve my outcomes.
Okay,
Like
learning
what
outcome.
outcomes I wanted the students to gain. So I will see maximum number of the students to achieve that outcomes.
Okay.
And improve, of course, improve my classroom management.
Here you have to be specific, Sinduri. What exactly? Now remember, area of improvement you've written classroom management.
Yes.
You're saying again improving my classroom management. What do you want to improve in that?
Okay, I'll be very specific, ma'am. We can see very much a group answering with the students. So how do I overcome that?
So put that.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
not be too many. You can just put it as avoiding group answering from students. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and responding promptly to the questions that students raise.
Okay.
And how do I improve this? Like as I wrote that my goal was to make a maximum number of students to achieve that. So I can improve it if I find the minimum number of students achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And SWOT analysis for both. Always I would suggest my children and myself also what like self-evaluation about them. Like if a lesson was written, I'll be discussing with the students, what are you going to learn from this lesson? So at the end of the lesson, I would be asking the children to just assess themselves what they have learned. And I also will be assisting myself that what I wanted to reach out to the children, what I have achieved in it.
Okay.
And when will I review my performance in this area? Of course, after every plan, at the end of the class, I can say every time at the end of the class or end of the lesson plan, I have to review so that I can recheck it where I'm going wrong. And who will be giving me feedback? Of course, my mentor, my co-teachers, like self-evaluation, and also by students also we will be getting a feedback that ma'am, we couldn't, and as you said, we couldn't understand a particular topic. It is that an approach we have to improve to make the concept reach the students very effectively. And how will I collect feedback? This is multitasking for the teacher, ma'am. Like she has to approach to all the mentors, and like I have to just go through like all her, she will be giving her responses to my lesson plan or explanation and everything. So by collecting them, I can just overlook and I will rewrite a plan so
Yeah.
that I can achieve, like I cannot face the challenge again in the next plan.
Okay, so that you don't face the same challenge in the next.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, fine. Thank you, Sindhu. Yes, Neelam. I think others are getting a hang of what exactly we are doing here. Yes. Neelam, can you?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just share my screen, ma'am.
Saujanya, Revati, Aarti, Mallika. I would request you also to participate because
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my action plan format is like area of improvement is identifying and utilizing the resources which I can use in my teaching learning process.
Yeah.
Then how a specific goals is will identify online and offline resources that my students can use and which I can use, and I have to dedicate specific timing for that in identifying them which is relevant and organizing them where I'm going to use and within the specific time frame. The next goal is the resource should be utilized. Suppose I want to use this in my classroom, in that time frame it has to be utilized, or if my students are using offline, within that time they should be able to use that resource. And also my next goal will be the resource, review the resource, whether the resource was useful in my uh, uh, learning, in my students learning, it was useful or not.
Yeah.
Now, how do I know? How do I know if I've improved in that area? By goal. My goal is this unit has to be researched more. So whether the resource has helped me in achieving my goal that all the students have learned or not, by self-assessment, peer observation, student feedback, and also student assessment, so that I will know that everybody has utilized it and they have understood the concept. When will I improve? After completing my unit, because it will be interrelated, they will do some research work. So in the form of assessment, I will do of my students with specific focus on resource material. Means I should see that the students have utilized. There will be certain things which are not there in their textbook, but it is required in the concept learning, which I will share through my resource. Who will give me feedback is my students, myself, like
self-reflection.
I will also have my own feedback form, my mentors and my peer. Self-reflection. How will I collect feedback is in the form of feedback form, like whether the resource was handy, easily available, whether you were able to articulate it, whether it helped in relating it to the concept, did it help in learning the concept. So in the form of a rubric and all, I will be using the feedback form now.
Okay. Thank you, Neelam. Ms. Sharmila.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen. I hope it's visible, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
So my area of improvement that what I achieved is student participation. So the specific goals or performance outcomes is if a student participation is there, of course it will reflect in the improved academic performance from the student.
Sharmila, improved academic performance will be a priority one goal.
It is one of
when your area of improvement is student participation, just think, academic performance will be the priority one. When will you get your academic performance if your focus area is student participation?
If the student participation is more, the interest would have increased and the interest and involvement would have increased, which made
Very
it.
true. So that becomes your first, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to go towards the end.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Fine.
Yeah. No issues. Continue now. I just want you to understand that.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. So as per the top one, I think I can go with increased engagement of the students during the class hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so that
correct.
would be the first one. And if the engagement of the student is more, they can develop the critical thinking and the problem solving skills, because I'm teaching mathematics. So if the the engagement of the student is more, the doubts will come, and by that they will get a way how to solve this concept in this way. Why not this way? Because to
True.
approach a
True.
solution, we will get a many path or many ways to do. So let us, as per even Cambridge also won't focus on one way. Multiple ways are there to solve and stand at the solution. So the critical thinking and problem solving skills will be automatically improved if the participation is more. And finally, the academic performance also will be improved. That could be the possible or performance outcomes. And how do I know that I have improved in this area? Of course, they will be very happy to welcome the teacher if they are showing the student participation more, so that I can say they can I can see the self confidence and esteem has increased in solving, because mathematics is a subject like where they every time at the first step they'll feel, oh, it's math, it is something like a little bit tough, we have to do this. So if their self confidence and self esteem, I can visibly see it has increased if the student participation is more. And student satisfaction, that we can even see in our day-to-day classes, if we have done, if they have answered, and if they have active participation in the classes, I could see the sense of happiness, satisfaction in them. So with that I can get to know. And the third point actually is an important, relating with the real life scenario and interdisciplinary approach. Suppose in the science, if the math concepts are coming, so they can able to relate it. Okay, this we have learned in our math class also, our math teacher taught. Suppose if any mathematical concepts, if they are seeing in our day-to-day life, if they are able to relate it, then that shows the success of this
Very true.
participation in my teaching as well. Then will I review my performance in this area throughout my classes, and during end of each session, I have to review so that I can change my process or strategy according to it. Who will give me the feedback? Self. We will get to know at the end whether I have made my students to participate actively or not. And students, of course, they are now openly, they can give the feedback because we have given them the space to communicate. Mentors and parent, this I got from my own experience, that the parent itself, like during PTM or normally also, they will call and they will share their happiness. My child is showing some improvement, interest comes from the active participation in the classes and the student engagement. That's what I believe. And how will I collect the feedback? Direct feedback forms through writing the reflection of the topic. Like if they were able to reflect what they learned, I think that itself shows they understood. So again, that would impact like student active participation. One-on-one meetings, I think if we are having time, or during the tenure of the courses, if we are having time, we can have one-on-one meetings. And KWL chart, what I know, what I want to know, or what I learned. With that KWL chart of each concept or each chapter, generally we will start our session with KWL. So the L will be like, empty one. But at the end of the session, if the student was able to fill, or if they were able to meet the objectives of the chapter given, then that also shows that yes, the feedback is good and we can understand it is fine.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. That's nice because you included parents also, and they are the most important part when it comes to feedback. Yes, Saujanya? Saujanya, you're there? Yeah.
Can you see this, ma'am?
No, I'm not able to.
Still no?
No, it's not sharing, Saujanya. Others are able to see her screen? No.
One second. Now, can you see, ma'am?
No, Saujanya, it's not possible. Yeah, now it has come. Now it has.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, here my action plan for goal setting. I need to improve my ability to design and implement new strategies, pedagogies, and methodologies to enhance teaching and learning outcomes.
You've
Because-
taken a very large area. This is a long-term goal.
Okay.
Because see, you are looking at strategies.
Correct.
Now you're looking at pedagogies and then methodologies. Now all these together, you will not be able to do it in a very short span of time.
At least a new strategy. Every day in my classroom, I need a new strategy to
Yes.
engage the classroom. I need a new strategy. So I wanted to develop in this actually. So next, one thing, I mean, out of 3 specific goals and performance outcomes, the first one is I want to develop and implement at least 2 innovative teaching strategies in the upcoming SEM or in the class, resulting in 20% increase in student engagement. So this will be my short-term goal, and even for the upcoming semester also, I want to take one new teaching strategy here, and I would like to design a new pedagogical approach to improve the student learning outcomes. Next, integrate a new methodology and technology into teaching practices, increasing in the student satisfaction.
Right.
Next, how do I know I have improved in this area? I can go through with increase in the student engagement and motivation and enhance teaching efficiency.
Now, how is it measurable, the enhanced teaching efficiency?
With the student satisfaction, students' involvement, the students' engagement, students' performance.
See, whenever you are writing, remember, this is for all of you. Remember, it should be measurable. Like all of you were, like some of them have really mentioned it, SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant or realistic and time bound. Okay, so when we are talking about that enhanced teaching efficiency, it is not coming under measurable quantity. So when your objectives are set and when you're talking about improvement, there should be some measure that we are talking about. Okay.
So, ma'am, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
When will I review my performance? So for at the end of each semester or each academic term or at the end of each class, I can get the reviews after implementing a new teaching strategy or after receiving feedback from the students. I can get it. Then who will give my feedback? Students or observers or peer observation and parents appreciation at the time of PTMs. So I'll get a feedback. Based on that, I can find out whether my new teaching strategy is working or not. Next, how will I collect the feedback with students' performance, peer observation, self-reflection? So I'll get an idea.
Okay. Thank you, Saujanya. Can we have Aarti, Miss Aarti?
Miss Aarti, you can share the document or you want me to share it for you?
Yeah, ma'am, you can share it for me.
Okay, well, give me a moment. Sudha ma'am, just 1 second.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Aarti, just let me know if this is the one.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, please go ahead, dear.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, all of you. This is my first presentation in this class. Okay. First area of improvement, ma'am. So advancement and innovation in technology. I want to improve myself in this innovation and technology, ma'am. And specific goals and performance outcomes to improve the way people live and to focus on technology development to develop skill and create job opportunities.
1 minute.
How do I know?
Aarti, 1
Yeah.
minute. Aarti, we are looking at, see, advancement and innovation and technology. It comes under which domain? I've given you 4 domains, isn't it?
Yeah, ma'am.
So which domain are we talking about? You understood what I'm saying?
Yeah, ma'am. You give feedback form in that Excel form it is there. So in which domain it is there, you are asking for that.
Yeah. Because I don't remember seeing advancement in technology part. So it has to be, it has to be on the domain, okay, the area of improvement. And when we are talking of specific goals, Aarti, it has to be very focused. See, when you're talking of advancement and innovation of technology, remember it is your use in classroom. Maybe that is what you're focusing at, use of technology in classroom. So when you're using technology in classroom, why do you want to use technology in classroom will be the first question. First goal, that is, I would like to use technology to develop this among my students.
Yeah, ma'am. They are interested, very much interested in that, ma'am. That's why I want to improve in that.
Because they're interested, you cannot be using technology, isn't it? It has to be
that is not.
one of the goals of yours.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, what is the outcome that you're focusing so that you're catering towards their interest?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have to, now remember, creating job opportunities, you will not be talking here. The reason is, now creating job opportunities itself is a larger goal. And you're, as a student, no, you're not going to create, but you're going to ask the students to
to
create their
preparing them for that.
Yeah, create their own jobs,
preparing them for that.
Becoming entrepreneurs in the larger sense. Now, if that itself is a larger goal, okay, that is a long-term goal. And generally, that will be the vision of the organization. Instead of an individual goal, that becomes the vision of the organization. So you will have to rework on this, okay? Because if you're having your area of improvement is large and now your specific goals or performance outcomes is also very large, it doesn't match. You have to break down your larger goal to smaller goals, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So can you rework on this?
Yeah, ma'am, I will work on this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Aarti.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Parveen, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's visible.
Thank you. So, ma'am, action plan for the goal setting, ma'am. Area of improvement is approaching all learners. Specific goals is the priority that I have to organize the resources, ma'am, effective resources, and I can take the technical aid. And engaging the learners in different activities. I have to design the activities, ma'am, in which all the learners can engage. I can engage all the learners. Giving opportunity to slow learners to express, ma'am. So these are the priorities I have taken to execute my goal, ma'am. How do I know I have improved in this area? Setting rubrics for all learners, ma'am. All kind of learners, I have to set the rubrics. And then self-assessment by all the students. So I can give a self-assessment also, ma'am.
Okay.
Accordingly, like setting the rubrics and all. Next, when will I review my performance in this area? Oral and written participation I have taken, ma'am.
Okay.
Who will give me feedback? It is the parents of the slow learners and then students and mentor and co-teacher as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Done. Okay.
Thank
Can
you.
you just go to the last part?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Who will give me feedback?
I think
Parents?
one more question is there. How will I collect feedback?
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. I
Yeah.
didn't see. Yeah. How will I collect feedback is through the students, ma'am. I can give them the feedback forms, or I can ask them, directly I can ask, ma'am. Like I can interact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can interact with them, ma'am, especially with the children who needs help actually. I can
Okay.
facilitate. I can facilitate, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah. Next is Revati.
Good morning, ma'am.
Just
Ma'am,
a
the
minute.
areas of, yeah, can I like speak without sharing because I'm not able to share the screen? Is it okay, ma'am?
I didn't understand what was it.
Ma'am, is it okay if I speak without sharing the screen because I'm not able to share the screen?
Okay. Okay. But you will have to start using your laptop. Otherwise, no sessions will become more difficult.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. The area of improvement I've taken is student behavior, ma'am, which comes under classroom environment. The domain.
Okay. Student behavior.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Student
Yes.
behavior. Specific goals of performance can be, we all have this performance chart in our class where we tell the students this rule, which rule or which, classroom rules you have to adhere to, and we implement certain rules which as a student have to follow in the class. We also tell as a student what is expected from you and what is that you are not supposed to do in the classroom. So there is a chart which we put up and we keep reviewing the chart. So very often we don't. It's just chart is just kept there, and we teachers as well as learners don't usually actually go back, revise, or get back to it. So it's very helpful whenever we feel. I usually do this in the class, ma'am. If I feel there is some disturbance happening in the class, just read and come back to the class is what I use, ma'am. How do I know I have improved in this area? Is if I feel like for the first place, I can just talk to that student privately, just call them and talk. Second thing, it is a reward chart. We have a reward chart where we give stars to them, ma'am. So as I see that, I understand who has improved and who has got like, I also tell this to the teachers who's coming to my class. You can review my students, and if there is, change in the behavior, if they have behaved well, just not the academics, behavior thing, you can give them a star there. That's how I do it in the class, ma'am. When will I review my performance? Throughout. It's a throughout, ma'am. It's just not the middle. From the start of the day, throughout the performance, the review goes throughout. Who will give me feedback? As I said, I take it from the teachers who come into my class. Apart from that, we also have this PE faculties actually walking here, there, and actually they do come to the class and, they just come and tell, ma'am, your class was so silent. I was just walking by and I found your class to be very silent, ma'am. There's good, obedient, well-behaved lot of students, ma'am. So I take it from them also. How will I collect feedback? Again, ma'am, I take it from teachers only, the teachers coming from them. It can be my mentors, coordinators, it can be principal, ma'am, vice principal, ma'am, whoever it is. I take feedback from them.
Very nice. Actually, that's a very nice strategy for behavior management.
Yes.
Okay, you've given a very good example for behavior management. I think many of us can follow that. Okay. Yeah, that's the area we really look forward for improvement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Malika. And we'll stop with Shravanti once Shravanti is done. Malika, you are mute.
Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a power cut over here, ma'am. So I did it on my mobile. So I'm sharing that on the download screen only, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry, ma'am, I was not able to share. Can I read it out for this time?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my area of improvement is I have improved in implementing my strategies in an effective way based on the learner's requirements. Earlier also, I used to implement different types of strategies, but this year, like based on the learners, like there are different types of learners, and based on their requirements, I changed my strategies implementation, like taking the quizzes, taking group activities. So I'm thinking that after starting this type of strategies, there's a lot of difference in my learners. They're getting involved in the activities, and I can see the change by getting the answers from them. And what are my specific goals or performance outcomes is they're getting more involved in the activities. They're not getting distracted. And the way their ability to answer the questions, like once the topic is done, I was questioning them. So the way they're answering them and getting the responses, so I was able to know that I'm able to achieve that goal. And engagement, they're completely involved in the activity in a fun way, not in like a study go way, not like that way. In a fun way, if they're able to implement the activity, they're able to involve completely in that activity. And by the way, we are achieving the learning outcome also sideways. And how do I know I have improved in this area? Like as I told earlier, like all the learners are getting engaged, and I have got a feedback from my heads also that the quality has improved a lot. And by the feedback, I have known that I have improved in this area. And when will I review my performance in this area? So once the topic has been completely completed in a particular subject, we can take a quiz or a question sessions or different group activities based on that topic. From that, we can get the answers or the way they are doing that activity, we can know that they were able to understand the topic. So in that way, I'm reviewing my performance from that strategy. And who will give me feedback? So ultimately, the learners, their responses are my primary feedback, and the feedback from the mentors also it mainly concerns me. And how will I collect the feedback? By the reflection of the students. At the end of the session, the questioning, the answers we get from the learners, that's my way to collect the feedback.
Okay. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you.
Yes, Shravanti.
Sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, it's there. We are able to see. You have student interaction, right?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, area of improvement is student interaction, ma'am. Like specific goals of the performance outcomes, like from the student actively participating in the class discussions and group work, ma'am, whatever we give for the activities or make it into groups and discuss about it or asking the questions or the projects, ma'am. And interactive activities like activities, hands-on learning activities when we give, after we explain them, when they are actively doing it, when they are interacting very good, then it deals with the performance outcomes, ma'am.
Okay.
And how do I know that I have improved in this area is frequency of students contributions during this discussion. Like how good they are interacting, how good they are showing the interest in the group discussions, ma'am. And the level of enthusiasm and willingness to engage with the peers, like when they share these things, ma'am has told this, when they discuss about the topic, that also shows that yes, they have improved. And participation in the collaboration task in the group projects. Yeah, ma'am, I'll do this topic. I know this, I can do it. When they actively say this also shows that I have improved in this area. And then when will I review my performance in this area? Quick checkup, ma'am, then and there, like after we have done with the lesson plan. Yes, we are done with the explanation when we ask the questions. And even in the week, because one topic we recap and we go on, tell about the topic, right? So during the week, it's a short-term assessment, like when we ask the questions or when we ask like what we have learned in the previous class, when the child is able to say or recall it, it shows that the child has done good. And review any student like feedback, like it's not like a group answer which we expect. At times we know like who are the slow learners who really needs our help, like we need to check, like individual feedback, ma'am, through assessment related to this interaction. Like when we interact, when they are able to say the answers, yes, we have done it. And analyze the participation and their collaboration and also the communication, even after the month, when we talk about the topic, when they connect the dots, yes, the child is aware and the perform. We have done the good work. The child is able to recall it. And who will give me the feedback? Analyze the data from multiple assessments, ma'am, including the peer reviews like self-assessment or other observations like our mentor observation, and even from the parents. When parents during the PTA, when they say that, yeah, ma'am, the child is doing by his own, the homework is done, like the child is able to recall, and he's that gives a best feedback for us, and it reaches us that we have reached our goal. How will I collect the feedback? Again, self-assessments, ma'am, weekly, monthly, and even through the projects.
Nice. Thank you. I'll just give you a short break, but there is a website that I'm going to share with you. So as teachers, whenever you're free, I'm not saying immediately you will have to look into. So this particular site gives you the framework for different types of teachers. If you are a remote teacher, what are the areas that you have to look into? Okay. So teacher leader, what are the areas that you have to look into? So there are different domains that are given there. So let's take a 5 minutes break. Now it's 11:45, 11:50 we'll come, we'll have a group work. Okay, it's a group work that is pending. So group work we will be having once we come back. Yeah. Yeah. Can we all be back? Yeah. So I'll be dividing you, I'll just share this PPT so that you can have an idea. I'll be dividing you into 5 groups. Okay. There is an Excel sheet that will be shared. Individually, please write your name and at least 3 areas of improvement that you would like to focus during this course. 3 areas of improvement. I've mentioned area of improvement 4, but you need not enter into that. Now, before you do that, please discuss with your peers. Find out the actual area that you would like to improve, because you have to set a time frame also for that. And then you can mention the area of improvement that you would like to focus on. Okay. So it's a group work. Discuss with your peers your areas of strength. And if you have a peer who is having your weakness as a strength, okay, make a note of it so that you can further discuss how they are going about doing it. Okay. So I'll share this in the chat. And then I'll be giving you the breakout rooms. You can make a note of this link. You can connect with that link. I'll just give you the breakout rooms. So the timing for the breakout room will be 15 minutes. 15 minutes, please discuss through the document and then you can have. Aarti, you're not able to join?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Just a minute. Let me see. Room 2. I'll put you in one more group and then I will push you to room.
Okay.
See if you've got the notification.
Sudha ma'am, you are on mute.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. So I'm not going into the presentation part of it because no, we are in short of time. So anyway, you had a discussion. So any doubts you have related, we'll clarify. Now, why I've asked you to make this Excel sheet, I'll tell you. Now, this area of improvement 1 that you have noted down, okay? This will be your area of focus when you're doing your unit 2. Okay, you're not your unit 1, remember your unit 2. So you will have to devise strategy, and in your unit 1, when you're reflecting, you will be writing about this particular area that you want to develop and how you're going to develop it in your unit 2. Okay, so in order that you have an idea, because you have said that is the priority area that you want to develop, so that part you will focus when you are doing your unit 1 and think about how you will be improving it in your unit 2. Okay. Now your goal is very specific. Now remember, these are the goals that you have set. So your goal is very specific now. Okay. After you've achieved, now you know how to go about doing one, you can go into the next area, right? So now you have actually set. Now you want to change also, I'll give you today the time for today. You can change it, whatever is your priority area. But remember, I will be focusing on this area when you're doing your unit 2, when you're submitting your assignments. Because we will see how exactly you can transition from your problem to the solution phase. Okay. Now I have actually shared a blog in the chat box. Okay, you can refer to it on know how exactly you can identify and further set your goals. Have you got that? Or you want me to share it again?
Yeah, ma'am. We
It's
did not.
not a blog, it's a blog.
Ma'am, can you please share it again?
Yeah.
Ma'am, Sindhuri's raised her hand.
1 minute. Yeah. Yes, Sindhuri, any questions you have?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what if we have two challenges in the same domain?
Take one at a time. See, what happens is you take two. If they are conflicting, you will not be able to find solution for both of them. So take one at a time. It's like one step at a time, no? So one you tackle, and once you know how to solve, see, I need not be, no one, your mentor also need not guide you. Only feedback you will require. You will know how to find a solution.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this course is about how to help you identify your problems and help you find your own way of solving it. Okay. So your peer discussions, now you know which area to focus on.
Yes.
Okay, so handle one at a time. Don't go for two because it will become very difficult for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you're going through this blog, you can read about the teaching goals and how it is set to identify and all that. Now, there are two words here, learning outcomes and goals. Yes? So can anyone tell the difference between these two, goals and learning outcomes, or outcomes and goals? What are they related, or is there any difference? Yes, Alicia?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
learning outcome and goals are interrelated. What I feel is goal is what we want to achieve, and
Okay.
outcome is what we get out of it. See, we
Okay.
will definitely try to get what we achieve for. Definitely, we will try to reach our goal, and sometimes it may vary. 100 on 100% we might not get.
Okay.
It might be varied, and we might get little more better version or little more simpler or the lesser version of it.
True, that's true. Right. Yes. Any other answers?
Yeah, ma'am, can I?
Garima. Yes, Garima.
So, ma'am, goal and learning outcome, it is more or less same. Only difference is that when goal is like, as a teacher, when I am setting a goal for the students to understand it, and learning outcome is something that when the same goal what I have set, made it for my students, they are able to understand it. So that is the learning outcome, is that, the goal was that some topic was there and I wanted to, through different activities, I have set up these are the things I'm going to do. My aim is to reach that goal. Now, but that after teaching and everything, when children are giving us and talking about that, that is the learning outcome, that means they have understood what I am trying to tell them. So that I feel like that these are the difference between goal and learning outcome.
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Yes, Neela?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Learning outcome helps us to measure how far we have achieved our goal in one way. And the next is learning outcome also helps us to see whether our actions are going in the direction of our goal or not.
Learning outcome helps you to measure the action?
No, measure with how far we have achieved our goal.
Okay. Okay. How far you have achieved your goal. Right. Right.
And it also lets us know whether whatever action we are taking is in the direction of our goal or not.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going, Kushi, I'm just putting you on pause. Yes, Saujanya, can you answer?
Yes, ma'am. I have two things, two differences. What is the difference between goal and outcome? Our goal is very specific, desired and achievement, whereas our outcome is a consequences of achieving the goal.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
consequence of achieving the goal.
Yes.
Yes. Whereas our goal is very much focused on performance, whereas outcome is focused on impact and the effect.
Impact and effect. Right. Correct. Correct. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Malika? Malika, you are able to hear me? Yeah.
Actually, goal is what we want to achieve, and learning outcome is the result of our goal.
Okay. Okay. Right. Mukampika? I'm stopping with her. Just bear with me.
Ma'am, learning outcomes are observable and measurable, ma'am.
Learning outcomes are observable and measurable. True. Very good. Yes.
And goals may be it may be a short-term goal or long-term goal.
Very good. It's a short-term or a long-term goal. Yes, Parveen, because you raised your hand, I'm just going quick with it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, goals are the objectives, ma'am. And outcome is meeting with the objectives. That is, are we meeting the expectations what we have designed?
Okay, okay. I'm just stopping here because we have another YouTube video which is very, very important. And I think it's around 16 minutes. So that's the reason I'm stopping you. So just a quick recap on what is the goal and outcome. Goal is the object or the aim of any action. Outcome is the criteria against which you assess. So many of you have got it right. You're looking at what is the rubric or the criteria that you're setting, that you're observing and you're measuring. So it is observable and measurable. Then it is called as an outcome. So I'll try and share this video. I'll also share this link. This is of Hattie, John Hattie. So I would like you to watch this video. Okay, I'm sharing this video. So I missed. Just show me a thumbs up if you can hear. Okay, once the audio comes.
Given what you often hear in the media from politicians and often from many parents, it can't be that bad out there in classroom land. Certainly if I ask you to think about the teachers that had a positive, profound effect on you, can you think of them? For me, it was Mr. Tomlinson, it was Mr. O'Neill, it was Rod MacDonald. And if you actually look at what those people, what the attributes of those teachers were, it's often because they had a passion that they wanted you to share about what they loved the most. Or sometimes it was because they saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself. Folks, the fact that you can think of some of those teachers, there is expertise out there in our business. There is a lot of that kind of expertise that's going out. But at the moment, our politicians, our voters are saying, we have a problem. We have to fix those teachers. We have to come up with teacher-proof ways so kids can learn. We have to find ways in which we can use carrots and sticks and performance pay and all these kind of things. Well, in one sense, the focus on teachers is right. Certainly the work I've been doing, many others, is that the biggest source of variance in our business that we have control over are the teachers. On the other hand, we have to be very careful that we don't misuse that information and then focus on individual teachers as if the system is bad, they need to be fixed. And my talk today is about identifying, the need to identify that expertise, the need to acknowledge that it's out there, the need to esteem and privilege it, and the need to certainly find out and understand that notion of expertise. We have a strange profession, and that unlike many other professions like medicine, engineering, and painting and paper hanging, in our profession, when people first start off, we expect them to be experts. The first year teacher, actually they expect to be rated outstanding in their first year. And in many ways, we see them as similar to 20-year-old veterans. If you look at other professions, like medicine, they start with the registration years. They have practices. They call it the practice of medicine. Painter and paper hangers, they go through an apprenticeship. And they have a series of stereo things. What makes no difference at all? And what things decrease achievement? And what I've been doing for the last 25 years is screwing it away and collecting data. I have close to 250 million students in the database to try and say, if I could take all the influences from the home, from the family, from the principal, from the schools, from the finance, from the policies, from the curriculum, from the teacher, from the strategies, I've got them all. And I turn them all around. And I say, well, what's the effect? Well, I get a distribution like this. Now you can see here the 0 point, the red zone. This is the kind of influences which negatively affect achievement. Now here's the good news. There's not much we do to kids that harm them. 95 to 98% of things that we do in the name of enhancing achievement does enhance achievement. All you need to enhance achievement is a pulse. And so when politicians and parents and everyone gets up and says, we know how to fix schools, they're right. If they say they can improve achievement, because everybody can. And that's one of our problems of our profession, is we have lowered the base so far to say, can we improve achievement? The teacher who comes and says, look, this is the performance of the kids at the start of the year, this is their performance of the later at the end of the year. To me, they're criminal. We need to get rid of those teachers, because everybody can do it. But obviously you can see this average which I want to talk about today, this 0.4. Now the number's not critical, the relativity is. Because what I want to find out is, what are the common story about what's up there in that green zone compared to what's in that yellow zone? And I'm sure every one of you here that's listening and watching who has a child in a school, if I said to you, do you want your child in a school of a teacher that has a systematic impact in the green zone or the yellow zone, it's easy. Yeah? All right. So let's start and look at some of the effects. And I want to start with looking at structural things. And I'm going to suggest to you that many of the things on this list dominate our debates about education. We have to give more money. We have to fix the class size. We have to do ability grouping. We have to come up with different kinds of schools and charter schools, yeah? So what do you think the effect of those are? Do you think they're going to be above the 0.4 or below the 0.4? I've got 200 different things, so where would they rank? Well, I can't find a single structural effect that's greater than 0.4. The majority of things that we debate in education don't matter much. And I say we because I include teachers in that along with the rest of us. The structural things, yeah, we need to get them right. But in terms of the hierarchy of this business, nah. So what about these ones? What about some attributes of the students? We all know that if only schools had the right students, life would be easy. So you can see some of the attributes up there. So what do you think their effects are? Greater than 0.4 or less than 0.4? Does it matter who the kids are? No. What works in our business works for most kids, if not all kids. It's very hard to find differences. What about programs? Now I say here deliberately deep programs, because this is what you hear all the time. You've got to have problem solving. You've got to have deep thinking. You've got to have individualized instruction. You've got to have problem-based learning. You've got to match kids' learning styles with their teaching. So what do you think? No. They don't matter. And I want you to remember this because I'm going to come back to this in a moment. Technology, oh, come on. All we need to have is laptops and technology, and then things will be marvelous. Now, you know the answer, don't you? No.
How to get the most of Grammarly free. It's Kayla on behalf of Grammarly to tell you.
And the interesting thing about technology is that we've been doing these researches now for almost 40 to 50 years asking the impact of technology. And the common claim is, but wait, the technology revolution, it's coming upon us. This new thing is going to come out, this new app, this new internet, whatever. Well, for the last 40 to 50 years, that effect size has not changed. Technology is the revolution that's been coming for 35 years. And it's not here yet. Okay. These are the kind of things that I would argue are the politics of distraction in our business so often, which means we avoid addressing what really matters in schools. And I get so frustrated when you read the media, when you listen to the debates, everywhere, in classrooms, in staff rooms, in professional development sessions, particularly in the media, particularly amongst our politicians, they want to solve these things. Why? Well, one reason, simple. You can see a lot of these things. You're not going to be able to see easily what's on the other side of the equation. And so one of my missions in this TED Talk today is, can we, when we hear these kind of discussions, ask those people to go into another room so we can talk about what really matters? Let's get to the good story. Now, the first thing with those numbers, you can see it's dramatically different. And my point is that the biggest effect in our business is expertise of the teachers. It's the teachers who work together.
I would like you to
to understand their impact.
Sorry, that was my mistake. Now I would like you to concentrate on this particular slide that was shown. Okay. What is that? Because all of us told you, remember? And research is proof that, okay, all those need not work. Okay. So finally, what works is actually, so you have an area that you have to improve, but look at what is the possible way of approaching. Okay. So I'm just saying only that I'm going to show. The remaining you can watch because I was interested in you understanding this particular part.
Impact. And that's probably the biggest single most factor in this business, that teachers and principals and systems that go into classrooms, that go into schools, that go into to systems who say my job is to understand my impact are the ones that have the biggest effect. Not the teachers who say my job's to cover the curriculum, my job's to get kids through the exams. It's teachers who say I want to understand my impact. Now, it begs the moral purpose question. What is impact? And that's a really critical question. And it's not just scores on tests. One of the things that I think is critical is how do we get kids to reinvest in this business called learning so they want to do more of it. And certainly if you look...
So what should be our impact? What should be our impact?
Reinvest.
Reinvest in learning.
Reinvest on what?
Learning.
Learning. Because many times as teachers, remember, all your problems will be solved if the child is able to reinvest on learning. Okay, your problem with scores will be solved, your problem with curriculum coverage will be solved, your problems with behavior will be solved. But when your focus is only on how to make them understand that learning is for life, not only to cross that particular class. Okay, so this entire video you can look at, okay, at leisure, and from here onwards are the impactful strategies that he talks about. The last one particularly, that was my favorite, the Goldilocks principle, that is what is just right. Okay, don't go over. Now someone asked me, can I put 2 goals? Remember, it may be easy for you, but for the child, it will be too heavy. So you have to see what is just right, not going above and not going too low also. What is just right, that is very important. And remember, in a classroom where errors are made and the trust is built on openly admitting that this is the error that I have made, right? Automatically learning happens. And generally I give this example, when we fall down more, we learn better. Okay, even when we were riding a bicycle, we would have fell down, broken our knee and all that, but we are now comfortable holding that. The reason is because we have fell that many number of times. Like Edison says, I worked 10,000 times, no, and I understood 9,999 times how to not make a bulb. So it is learning every time that you're falling that will make you better. So even in your classrooms, even your action plan fails. That is why we said don't change your goal, change only the strategy of approach that you have to make. Okay, I'll just complete. So your question is, questions that you have to think is, how are your classrooms and teaching process? How would you like your classrooms and teaching process to create impact? Okay, what according to research does give impact in learning? Can you just give a few things that actually makes the impact? Can you tell few things that will actually make impact? Yes? Anyone remembers?
Yes, ma'am. Teachers working together.
Teachers working together. Okay.
First, ma'am.
Will evaluate the impact.
Teachers working, evaluators.
Evaluates the impact of the learner.
Yeah, when they evaluate the impact of the learner.
Bringing
Okay.
the change, bringing the difference in the children, ma'am.
Bringing the difference. I think I'm sharing the screen. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the one that you will have to take. The power of moving from what students know now towards explicit success criteria. Errors and trust are welcomed as opportunities to learn. Maximize feedback to learn. Okay. Maximize feedback to teachers about their impact. Getting the proportions from surface to deep connect. What does that mean? What does that mean? Getting proportions from surface to deep connect. What does that mean?
Deeper understanding?
Yeah.
Yes, deeper understanding.
Connecting themselves to the situations, ma'am. Real life practices.
Themselves
Real
to
life
the
practices.
real life practices, right? Now, how many of you have seen the picture of the iceberg floating? Yes? We all see, isn't it? A small portion of the iceberg is floating, but what is under? That is more important because when the learning happens, it may be a small topic that you have dealt with. But again, it depends on you how you have dealt with it in depth in the classroom. I think that was the main strategy for NEP also to reduce the syllabus. Okay, it is not that no, we don't have time, so the curriculum is reduced. No, it is to give a deeper understanding of the topic so that our students will find it or will have a deeper impact in their learning. And the last one is the Goldilocks principle, which actually says about the challenge. Deliberate practice to attain this challenge. And whenever your classroom is challenging, learning happens. The right amount of challenge, not higher level of challenge. Remember, you're giving it life. They can do it, but they cannot. Simple step is not there, 2-3 steps, so that learning happens. Okay. So I'll just... So these are the questions that I had asked. What according to research does give impact in learning? Okay, I think I've come to the end. So your homework is start and design your action plan for one of the goals that you have set. I'm not saying all the goals, start with one. Okay, keep it in the folder that you have shared with me. Please place it in the folder that you have shared with me. Okay, design an action plan. I've told you to share a folder. Many of you have shared Word document. Please don't share a Word document. Make a folder, module 1. In that, you can put all this as the work during your classes, because unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 will be 3 different folders, so that I'll be checking back on the work that you have done. Okay, right. So any questions you have for today's session? Otherwise, you can put your confidence level in setting goals in the scale of 1 to 10, 1 least, 10 high. Okay, and you Google form will be shared shortly in the group, so you can submit your feedback. Any questions anyone has?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Manju.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what about the multilingual strategies? Can it work sometimes, though it is not always an ideal situation? See,
It will
because
work.
it will
It will
work.
work. It will
But
work.
then when it comes to the languages, then it's not an ideal strategy, obviously.
For language, it's not an ideal strategy, but for math, in science and social, yes, it's an ideal strategy because you can always relate to the local environment and the local conditions. But if you're learning English, certain words you can, because they will not be immediately able to grasp the meaning, you convert it to the colloquial equal, fine.
Okay, we can do that. We can convert it to the colloquial and then again.
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
you
we
can.
Okay,
You can,
fine.
because they have to understand the meaning for its application. But ask them not to think in their mother tongue and apply that in English. That's where they go wrong with the structure of the sentence.
That's what, ma'am. In fact, in the group discussion also we were discussing. So when we are asking them to think in English, they are not able to understand what do you mean by thinking in English. Because what they are doing it, they are, they are thinking in the mother tongue and then translating in English. So as a result, they're making a lot of mistakes. So then how to break it down into like think in English? So this we are having little difficulty to make the learners understand, especially English, language.
Yeah, see, what is the age group that you're talking about?
We are talking about grade 9th and 10th, probably 13,
9
14
and
years.
10. 9 and 10 means you will have to start your process somewhere from the grade 1, 2, 3. 9 and 10, remember, habit is what is, habit you have to change now. Now, changing habit is going to take a lot of time. Generally, what happens in learning process also, what parents also don't understand is learning is a habit.
Exactly.
Okay. So when it's a habit, you have to inculcate it in small doses from your lower age.
Like, ma'am, we have told the parents that, see, English cannot be learned within that 45 minutes of period.
Yes.
You need to practice. It's just like an art, like music. Yes. You have to practice. But then they are not able to understand. So in the, even in the remedial classes also, ma'am, we have tried. But then they want the whole thing to be done, probably multilingual. They're looking for, especially in the remedial classes.
9 and 10 don't do multilingual. The reason I'll tell you, because in the exam, they will not be able to translate it. 9, maybe you have a little bit of scope, but 10, it's far off. So they will have to do double up work and listen to audios or videos of the same lesson 10 times and then understand its meaning. But if you have the lower level students who are coming, if it's 1 or 2, you will have to focus on individual. This one, you cannot do it in the class. But in your lower classes, from there onwards, focus on, ask them, see, what will I do? It's like, how you do it with your poems. You keep and say, what will I do? So, that means what you tell, don't talk it out, but put it in your brain. What will I do? So that actually develops. So we have a concept called metacognition, wherein you start actually with cognition from your lower level and then you develop it into metacognition. That is where your thinking about thinking comes.
Okay, thinking about thinking.
Thinking about thinking comes. So thinking about thinking is developing in this way. Okay, so it's more that have to have will be moving along. So those who do not have any questions can move ahead. And one more thing is, please do submit your work in time, because the monitoring will happen and we will be very stern with this batch with your submission of your assignments. Okay, we had faced trouble, so we do not want to again move forward with the same type of lagging that we had with our previous batches. We will be very stern with the assignments. So whatever I'm asking you, please do submit it in a format. Okay, and please do upload it in the folder and share it with me. Okay, because I'll not be verifying now. With your assignment, I'll have to connect and I'll have to verify. Yes? Yeah. So you can just rate and you can send. You can break. Yes, Parveen. Those who do not have any queries can leave the meeting. Yes, Parveen.
Ma'am, actually, I and Revati from Mercury campus did not attend last time class, ma'am. Last class.
You have
Previous
the
class,
YouTube
actually.
video that was shared.
Recording, yes.
Yeah, recording.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
go through
Yes,
in
we have
case you
gone
have
through.
in, yeah. In
We
case you
have
have
gone
any
through it,
doubts,
ma'am.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, anything like home assignment we have to submit, ma'am.
No, it was only mentor action plan. So you can just go through. Homework is also shared in the PPT. I think it was mentor. What will you do with the mentor? Just a minute. So, it was identifying your area of improvement, specific areas, how would you like to improve your teaching, discuss with the mentor regarding the same. So nothing written as such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other queries anyone else
Yes.
has? Yeah. Yes, Neelam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I got your answer, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Neelam.
Ma'am, you have told us that this week we are going to write an action plan on how we are going to achieve the goals.
Yes, one goal. You take only one. Don't look at 2 or 3. Only one goal. You write now remember this is an editable one. You will not be changing your goal. Okay. You will only be writing what is your current thought. Okay. Later on, you will be changing your action plan on how you will review and all that. As you are proceeding through the course, you will be changing. Okay. That you can. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have one more doubt. Is there a particular format in which we have to write our action plan?
I have already given that format only.
That today what we wrote.
Now you will be writing a rough format plan. Further, we will be taking Cambridge templates and there you will be inserting how exactly you will be going in. Okay. Yes, Sharmila.
Ma'am, even my doubt was same like any format. So for that I got the answer. So in week 1 actually I missed. So do I need to complete that work?
What analysis of your class?
Okay.
That was week 1 homeworks. What analysis of your class? So 1 and 3, whatever work you're doing, please put it in the folder.
And we should mail it to you?
Yes, the folder has to be mailed because all your assignments will be in that folder. Please rename your folder with your name so that I can always get back to that.
Okay, so upcoming works can be added to the same folder?
Same folder because you'll be again creating folders inside that.
Okay, so can we like make some Google link and we can share it with you, ma'am, so that we can...
Yes, Google link only. Once you make the folder, share it with edit option.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other queries others have?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Revati, Parveen. Okay, Revati left. Parveen, you have any questions?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I'm leaving. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.